Hello everyone, this is Mark with Lean ISO Management Systems. This video discusses element 852 of the ISO 9001 standard, identification and traceability. This clause consists of 3 short paragraphs covering 4 aspects. Identification of outputs to ensure conformity of products and services. Identification of the monitoring and measurement status. Control of unique identification when traceability is required. And maintenance of documented information related to traceability. Let's see how we can address these requirements. The first point states that the organization shall use suitable means to identify outputs when necessary to ensure product and service conformity. If you recall, ISO 9000 Clause 375 defines output as a result of a process. Our first process is receiving. So, at the end of this process, we need to identify our components, parts, bags of materials, etc. Typical identification information includes serial or batch numbers, manufacturer's identification, heat number for metals, etc. This data is typically recorded in the company's ERP or on the receiving log, and accompany the part through the entire realization process. Identification requirement also applies to service provision. If you manage a project, you should identify all your customer deliverables, proposals, project plans, corrective actions, etc. Typically, these documents are identified by the document code and its revision level. The following requirement reads: the organization shall identify the status of outputs concerning monitoring and measurement requirements throughout production and service provision. While our product or service is going through the realization process, we must demonstrate that monitoring and measurement requirements were met. In the manufacturing environment, this requirement is addressed through corresponding operations in work orders or travelers. When you deliver services, this requirement may be addressed in your project plan, KPI reports, etc. When traceability is required, the organization shall control the unique identification of the outputs. Traceability refers to tracking a product throughout its production and distribution phases, from procuring raw materials for its production until it reaches the end customer. One example of traceability may be online orders. Remember when you ordered something online and the provider offered you the ability to track your purchase? Was it shipped? Did it reach the local warehouse? Is it on its way to your door? This is traceability. Traceability requirements most frequently imposed by customers, applicable regulatory requirements, industry standards, etc. The last requirement in this clause is documentation. The critical point here is to enable traceability. What it means is that your documentation should allow tracing your products through the process and after delivery to the end user. For example, food, medical devices, or consumer goods recalls would not be possible without appropriate traceability. Let's summarize our discussion today. Establish and use processes for the identification of outputs throughout the production or service. Identification of the monitoring and measurement status of outputs. Controlling the unique identification of the outputs for traceability. And documenting information necessary to enable traceability. Do not forget that we have a LinkedIn group discussing Lean ISO management systems issues. Join us and share your experiences with the group. This is all for today, folks. As always, check our free downloads. Do not hesitate to contact me if you need assistance implementing your lean management system. Remember to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Your support helps us promote our Lean QMS project.